All right, but we were talking about kids and examination. Let's talk about what happens later. We're talking about college and hiring over there, another very high stress situation. But college hiring, let's look at some trends that emerged over the past couple of years. Now, post-pandemic, we've seen a bit of a lull. For example, trends of high supply and less demand for volume hiring, and also seeing glaring differences on low supply and high demand when it comes to niche talent pools as well, both in engineering and B schools. Remember 2021? So a huge thrust in campus hiring because of the demand in hiring at that point. But at the same time, the 2022 absorption became very poor, leading to very low campus hirings. So now all of this has come at a time when IITs and IIMs, as we speak, are struggling a little bit. Now, of course, hirings are happening, but not at the level they had expected. Hirings are also, the packages being rolled out are not at the level as we've seen earlier or as have been anticipated. So we thought, let's understand what exactly are these hiring trends, and if you are somebody who's looking for a job this year or even mid-career, at this moment, how should you approach it? So to talk to us about that, we've got Pasupathi Sankaran joining us. He's COO of HirePro. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Firstly, I just want to understand, could you take us through quickly on some of the factors on what has defined hiring post-pandemic, the shift that we saw in trends?
Yeah, Sonal, as you rightly suggested, that 2021 saw all-time hiring numbers, and then 2022 the absorption was fairly low, and the overall market has been not really doing well from a job perspective. If you look at across sectors, if you look at the startup ecosystem, the funding has dried up. So as a result, some of these companies are not really hiring. If you look at some of the large IT services companies, if you look at the GCCs in general, 2022 and 2023 saw very, very low hiring trend, which I would say, in the past, when you see these slowdowns happening, they last for around 4 to 6 months. But this time it has kind of lasted for almost 2 years. And that's one of the reasons where, everybody's kind of worried to see what really holds for the future. But I believe that, things possibly could change in, 2024 as we speak.
Right. But how exactly are they changing in 2024? Is there some good news on the horizon? Because what we are hearing from IITs and IIMs ain't really good news.
Yeah, so I think, let's look at it from a little larger view of an individual his career. Your career lasts for almost 30, 35 years. Of course, nowadays people wanting to look at not more than 20, 25 years in terms of their overall career. This is a temporary traffic jam, I would say, in your overall journey of this entire career. So it could happen at the beginning of the career, or sometimes it happens in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. It could always happen. See, the IITs, IIMs are anyway trying to create leaders of the future. It's not necessarily for the job market. And if you look at the job market, has been not really good for all of these colleges, so to say. So one of the things that we need to look at is, this is more for the, I would say, students, because they are the ones who are really kind of worried from there. I think they should still continue to focus on their skill. See, the best time or the best place to be when the market is down is in a college, not really in the job market. So if anybody was looking for, going for their master's program, they might have thought that I'll probably take a break, work for a year and then go. This is the best time for them to probably again focus back on their college, higher education they wanted to do, let them go ahead and continue that. And also there's a time for learning. So, today organizations are not hiring.
Are you saying that temporary traffic jam seems to be opening up finally in the coming year?
It has to open up. See, if you look at from a hiring perspective, there are two factors which leads to hiring. One is real business growth. The other is attrition. So once a certain set of organizations start hiring, it kind of sets the entire, I would say, Brownian motion of people leaving, then joining other companies and so on and so forth. So what we are seeing, at least for the next, I would say 12 to 18 months, there are a good number of global multinationals which are setting up their back offices, which is broadly called as the GCCs. So we see a good amount of GCCs setting up in India. We see some of the small firms, which are VC funded firms in other countries. Now they are coming to India to kind of hire and set up their office so that their runway of cash flow really goes up. So there are definitely openings and job market opening up. Now this would actually lead to, demand for other organizations to, replenish their talent. So that is
Right.
how this entire motion will get set up, and it'll take a while. It's like the snow melting. It'll take some time. It'll happen. So we are hopeful that by say mid of 2024 or end of 2024, you would definitely see organizations hiring, even possibly the batch which is graduating now, possibly without a job, if they are ready at that point of time with the relevant skills. It would really happen for them. If not now, maybe in the next 6, 8, or definitely in the next 12 months.
Right.
So
By the end of the year, you're saying things should begin to ease out a little bit. That's when you're expecting. But, we cannot talk about jobs and not mention AI. Everybody loves to hate AI. Is it taking away our jobs? Is it not? But just to put things in perspective, this question was put up in front of Satya Nadella also. He was the Microsoft CEO. He was in India very recently. And we asked him as well that what about that? And he said something very interesting. He said that there will be a temporary sort of roller coaster, sort of, setting things in order a little bit. So there will be a temporary hitch. But in the long term, the AI story only looks positive. But what I'm trying to understand here is a lot of people in mid-careers right now so skill is going to be key, and knowing
yeah.
how to deal with AI will be key from what we understand. What should they be doing? Is there a mid-career adoption, AI adoption that one can take, courses, etc. that one should do? Are there only specific sectors who you think will be impacted, or you think everybody at this point should know how to talk to AI?
Interesting. So if you look at our late 80s and early 90s in India, I think the same question was being spoken about in terms of the overall broad concept of computerization. So people thought that once computers comes, people will kind of lose their jobs and so on. And now you see actually it has been one of the largest job creators market, in that way. So AI and all of these areas, I think first of all, for people who want to really learn any topic, they should first go and try to read up. I mean, it is not that everybody needs to jump into this bandwagon just because everybody is talking about it. It is your area of interest. These are very specialized fields. So unless you are really very good at it, it really doesn't make sense. So I think one of the best ways for people to do it, go look up. There is a lot of free content. People let them start, studying about it, working out some of these things, and then slowly they can figure out to get into a formal degree. Today, there are executive programs which teach. There are a lot of finishing schools which are focused around 6 to 8 months, part-time courses and so on. So I think they should embrace this because, see, going forward, I would say the skill of computers is going to be like maths and sciences because it is definitely going to get utilized in every possible field that is there. I mean, today, if you look at healthcare, banking, grocery delivery, everything uses tech. So I think when you see it all around, you better embrace it rather than trying to run away from it or shy away from it. It is just like any other skill that you pick up.
Yeah.
Within the overall job segment, where you really fit in is something that you can figure out. Are you creating new frameworks, or you are going to be somebody who's going to use the AI to manage some of business decisions? So there are jobs available across the entire spectrum of what broadly could be, called as AI contributing to help the growth.
Yeah, I feel moving forward, everybody needs like one foot in tech. Every sector, every job will need like one foot in tech and one toe perhaps in AI to ensure that you have you don't have to be an expert, but you should, like I said, you should know how to speak the language, how to sort of incorporate it in different ways, because that's a reality we all have right now. Thanks so much for joining us. This was good understanding of where the job market is really going.
Thank you, Sonal.